Today I learned. I've always wondered why certain bands wear masks and makeup and go out of their way to hide their identities. Uh, are they hiding something? Are they just shy? Is it a gimmick? Are they role playing? The answer, of course, is all of the above and then some. The first band I think of when I think of masked bands would definitely have to be Kiss. Well, okay, that's a lie. The first band I think of is Slipknot, but most people would probably think Kiss. While I don't want to disrespect the band by calling their makeup a gimmick, basically that's what it was. Sure, there is some sense to their personas. So the singer, the star child, is called that because he's a starry-eyed lover and a hopeless romantic. Gene Simmons, the demon, is called that because of his cynical view on life and his dark sense of humor. Ace Frehley, or Space Ace, is called like that because of his love for science fiction. While the drummer, the Catman, is called like that because supposedly he has 9 lives, which is an allusion to the tough childhood he had while growing up in Brooklyn. But if you pay attention to anything that's been written, especially by Gene Simmons, any of his interviews and stuff, you can pretty much see that they have success and fame on their mind, not the music or the fans or something. I mean, just look at their merchandising. Really, caskets with Kiss faces? Yeah, classy, Gene. In fact, Gene Simmons has been known to decry that standard trope some bands have of not wanting to make it big. On the contrary, he called anything that prevents a band from being as mega as possible pure idiocy. It seems that fame and fortune was pretty much all they had in mind when they were making this band. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, I'm just calling a spade a spade. Another iconic name that would probably pop into people's minds when they think of masked bands would have to be the electronic duo Daft Punk. While they don't usually give out interviews, they have been known to say that the initial reason they started wearing masks was because of shyness. But also that they didn't want to compromise their personal lives and wanted to focus to stay on the music. Although the origin story of their robot personas is pretty awesome. And I quote, "We did not choose to become robots. There was an accident in our studio. We were working on our sampler and at exactly 9:09 a.m. on September 9th, 1999, it exploded. When we regained consciousness, we discovered that we had become robots." Other bands have much more elaborate backstories, if not whole mythologies, centered around their alter egos. A good example of that would be Gvar, initially named and maybe the Insane Clown Posse. So the members of Gvar, for example, are also called the Scumdogs of the Universe, a barbaric tribe of alien warriors who ravaged the cosmos for generations before they were banished to Earth for their crimes, and now want nothing more than to destroy humanity and the universe itself. Funny thing about Gvar, they were initially thought up as a joke band played before the punk band Death Piggy. So Gvar would go up on stage, play some god-awful barbaric noise in order to make Death Piggy sound better. Oh, and by the way, Death Piggy is Gvar, only without the costumes. The Insane Clown Posse, on the other hand, has this whole dark carnival thing, which is heavily featured in all their songs and all their lyrics. And it's kind of a purgatory where souls are sent after they die to be judged before they continue to heaven or hell. Then there's bands like Locusts, who initially didn't even start wearing any masks or weird outfits. They just wore their street clothes like a couple of poor punk kids. But when somehow the attention started to go on their clothes and not their music, they decided to nip that in the bud and started wearing amorphous, skin-tight bodysuits with like hoods and masks that resemble insects. The Residents are also a notable mention. They are possibly the band with the longest running track record of keeping their identities hidden. Almost 50 fucking years to be exact. This avant-garde multimedia art collective usually performs with big eyeball helmets and top hats, and after, like I said, 5 decades and almost 60, more than 60 albums later, we still know diddly squat about them. That kind of commitment you have to respect. And of course there is Slipknot. Like I said in the beginning, that's what I think of when I think of masked bands. But maybe I'm not being completely impartial on that sense. What started with Sean Cram, one of the percussionists, bringing a clown mask to a lot of the band's rehearsals, the rest of the band decided to go with it and, well, take it to the next level. They all adopted masks, matching jumpsuits, and dehumanizing numbered aliases. All of this was intended as a commentary on the commercialism of the music industry, but in time grew to be much more. Corey Taylor, the band's lead singer, in one interview said that their masks are their way of becoming more intimate with the music, becoming unconscious of anything they are and what they do outside of it. In that same interview, he said that wearing those masks is like wearing the music. They feel so strongly about it that they feel they can wrap it around themselves and feel safe, and that way they can crawl into it and explore it more. Alas, in every basket you have to have a few bad eggs. There's this rapper called Doom, or MF Doom. He wears a gladiator mask like the one Russell Crowe wears in the movies, and apparently he's been known to send out imposters wearing that same mask to do his shows. Now, if you ask me, that is mega lame. But considering the fact that his persona is inspired by Doctor Doom of Marvel fame, and he has the whole villain thing going on, and, well, considering that every scandal like that has brought him more publicity and more attention, maybe he's onto something. Well, then again, maybe not. Of course, there are a lot of bands I didn't mention here which are just as influential, if not more. There's Pussy Riot, there's Ghost, Mushroom Head, Lordi, King Diamond, Buckethead, the Aquabats, loads of them more. But these are the ones I thought would be most prominent. If you can think of any other bands that I didn't mention that have interesting reasons of why they wear masks or backstories like Vlad or Lordi, come to the forum, write about it. I read basically everything on there, so yeah.